All right. So when this trailer dropped, there was an overwhelmingly positive response. But on the opposite end, there were a few people who did not like that this was even being made in the first place, right? I saw some people say, oh my goodness, another live action remake. I can't stand it. Why don't y'all just leave the animated versions as animated versions and call it a day? And so here's my thing, right? Personally, I really don't have anything against remakes. Remakes of all kinds, actually. I just have a thing against bad remakes. So let's talk about this whole debate. Let's get into it. All right. So I think that remakes can be bad, right? Like Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender, especially because I grew up watching the animated versions. So I think when a remake is bad, it's largely because they only rely on the name of the IP, the name of the franchise. They rely only on the fact that people are already familiar with the franchise that they're remaking. They try to let the whole entire project just stand on the fact that people know it and nothing else. You know, they don't make the project to be good. They don't keep the same spirit as the original work. They just say, hey, we know y'all will like this. What if we just slop together something tired, put a name y'all recognize on it, and sold it to you? Like, what if we did that? Now, those are the remakes that I can't stand. But I mean, if you want to take something that was live action and make it animated, or vice versa, or if you want to reboot a property, I really, honestly, I don't have a problem with it per se. I do think, though, and this is also worth talking about, right? Like, I do think that the industry can be much too scared of taking risks when it comes to new, original, exciting properties, like new franchise, new works, right? And like I said, that can be a topic all on its own. But as far as remakes as a whole, I don't have a problem with them unless they're done terribly, right? And so this next topic is another part of this gigantic debate that I think is so interesting, right? As much as people complain about live action remakes, they're still tuning in. I mean, these companies would not be pumping these remakes out like this. I mean, back to back to back, if nobody was tuning in. You know, if nobody was watching, like it just seems like there's so many comments saying, I can't stand, like, obviously paying attention to what's going on in the trailers and the teasers and stuff. So, and at the same time saying, oh, I'm not tuning into this. It's just it's so funny to watch. I think that y'all be talking and that a lot of people be talking. And then when they see the results, or when they see, like, when they want to experience the nostalgia, when they want to, you know, relive the animated version in a different way, like, they will go watch the remakes. Because, like, they would have stopped, industry-wide, they would have stopped making these remakes if it didn't make them no money. Y'all be tuning in, we be tuning in, y'all. A couple examples with how, I'm just saying how badly general audiences be wanting remakes, and at the same time they be saying they don't. Y'all made Sonic the Hedgehog live action, that remake, a success. You hear what I'm saying? The Lion King, quote unquote, live action remake made $1 billion at the international box office. I mean, the Aladdin remake made $1 billion, and I know I'm talking about Disney, like, but I mean, Sonic, I pointed at Sonic. Y'all already talking about Mufasa, like, and then this trailer for How to Train Your Dragon that just dropped had 3 million views the last time I checked it yesterday. I'm sure it's way more than that by now, right? So it's like people are saying one thing, like, oh, I can't stand live action remakes. We can't stand it. Stop making them. But then when these remakes hit the theaters, especially if it's coming from a franchise people already love, they're going straight to go see it. So what's the truth? Child, we gonna see, because I think if they get this plot right, like if they just keep it a very sound plot, keep the same essence, same spirit of the original work, like I just think that it's going to be a success. And let's talk about like the graphics and stuff for a second. So honestly, I really like how they kept Toothless looking so much like his counterpart in the animation only films, right? I think people think that they want these things to be realistic. They think they want these characters to change a lot from animated to live action. But if they changed Toothless too much, I think that the fan base would be in even more of a I think they would be in an uproar. I remember they were trying to make Sonic more realistic, right? They showed the one on the left here first, right? And everyone dragged it. Everyone dragged it so bad that the creators, whatever, they had to go back to the drawing board and give us the one on the right instead, right? So I think some people think that they really want these things to be more lifelike, quote unquote, but in reality, it just looks weird when you're doing it in live action. I think like I said, I think as long as this live action movie has a plot that is as fun and as strong as the first one, which means to me, as long as they don't change the plot for the worse in this movie compared to the animated one, things should be fine, right? But yeah, we can finish off this video with what comicbookmovie.com said. Make sure that you check the link in my description if you want to read the full thing. So sneak peeks make it clear that Toothless will look almost exactly like he did in the previous How to Train Your Dragon movies. Every studio on the planet learned from Paramount's mistake with Sonic the Hedgehog, like I discussed earlier. So this is the right move, even if it doesn't look as realistic as House of the Dragons, far scarier beasts. I mean, I just don't want, How to Train Your Dragons looking like House of Dragons. Like, to me, it just would not make no sense, y'all. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. Okay, they talk about The Lion King. The Lion King found great success in 2019 by sticking closely to the cartoon, so there's no reason to suspect this won't also be a hit. Of course, just because this teaser recreates the original movie doesn't mean the rest of the story will be exactly the same. On the rugged Isle of Berk, where Vikings and dragons have been bitter enemies for generations, Hiccup stands apart. The inventive yet overlooked son of Chief Stoik the Vast. And of course, Gerard Butler is reprising his role. Hiccup defies centuries of tradition when he befriends Toothless, a feared Night Fury dragon. Their unlikely bond reveals the true nature of dragons, challenging the very foundations of Viking society. With the fierce and ambitious Astrid, I heard that some people are annoyed at the casting of Astrid. I'm just like, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. And the village's quirky blacksmith, Gobbert, by his side, Hiccup confronts a world torn by fear and misunderstanding as an ancient threat emerges, endangering both Vikings and dragons. Hiccup's friendship with Toothless becomes the key to forging a new future. Together, they must navigate the delicate path toward peace, soaring beyond the boundaries of their worlds and redefining what it means to be a hero and a leader. So yeah, I mean, obviously the same kind of story, the same kind of path as the first animated movie. I think if they stick to it, it's just going to be a success, y'all. Like, I don't, and this is coming from someone who's not like a How to Train Your Dragon stan. I'm not like screaming when the trailer drops, but I think the main reason why I made this video is to, of course, talk about the live action versus animation debate, because like I said, they would not be making these movies. It would not be successful if people didn't want these live action remakes. Like, so I don't get it. I only have an issue when it's bad. Like when I can clearly tell that y'all did not care about the source material. Y'all just wanted a quick buck, and everybody want a buck. Like, it's the industry, so whatever. But still, like, you can tell when the heart of the original work is missing and y'all just slap a name on something, a familiar name on something to sell something, right? But this to me don't seem like that at all. Like, we of course, this is a teaser trailer, so we're gonna see what the tea is for real, but it don't seem like that at all to me. But either way, let me know what y'all think, especially which side you're on in this whole debate, live action versus animation. Love y'all so much, and I'll check y'all out later. Peace. All right, y'all, make sure that you're going to www.zeraxia.com. When you join the wait list there on the site, you will be the first to be notified when I drop my sequel. Also, you'll immediately get chapter 1 of my upcoming sequel of the upcoming book sent to your email as a PDF. So check that out. Also, this is a different excerpt from my upcoming book, so you definitely want to pause to read if you're trying to get your life. Keep in mind that this upcoming book, the sequel, is following up the first book that is already released called Zeraxia, Wrath of the God King. I released it a few years ago. It was my introduction to writing, fantasy and stuff. So just go easy on me. But either way, as you can see here, it's given 4.9 stars. It's given 4.9 stars. So yeah, check out Zoraxia Wrath of the God King while you wait for Zoraxia The Vengeance of Coldwind, right? And go to Zoraxia.com, sign up, join the waitlist, get your free chapter. Thank you so much.